Joyce A. Barnes, and Joyce is my sister. And she is doing something exciting that I want you to know about. Hey, Joyce, tell us all about your new project that you want to share.
Hey, Carol. So my project is I am starting the Economic Emancipation Monetary Fund. It goes by the acronym of the EEMF, but it also is called the Dollar a Month Fund. And I have been thinking about and wanting to start this business, start this fund for decades now.
Mm.
And now that I am facing retirement, it's coming to me how important it is to have financial planning all through your life and to not wait until you are ready to retire to start thinking about these things.
Mm.
The purpose of the EEMF, the Dollar a Month Fund, is to address and eventually to eradicate the racial wealth gap in this country.
What's that mean?
Well, what it comes down to is numbers. If you look at the average wealth of white families in this country, it is, and we're talking wealth, not income. We're talking about the kind of wealth that accumulates over time. And when we're talking about economic wealth, we're talking about the kind of wealth that gets passed down from one generation to the next to give that next generation a better start in life. And then that perpetuates into perpetuity. That's the idea. So it is something that I think is important for people to think about, parents to think about for their children, young people who are just starting their careers, just graduating from college or high school, thinking about how they're going to prepare not only for the present, but also for their future financial well being and how they can benefit from generational wealth being passed down, but also how they can make sure that that continues for the generations even after them. And I know at 10 to 14, you're not necessarily thinking about generations after you, but this economic emancipation monetary fund is for you also. It's intended to provide resources and support, economic support, and other types of support starting from when you're born and going from the cradle to the grave.
So we talk about in the book is Harriet Tubman talking about love, leadership, and legacy. So how
Mhm.
a legacy, and this is what a legacy is, right? When you're thinking of those coming after you and
That's right.
planning for their well-being.
Yes,
Uh,
that's absolutely true. And passing along a legacy or even generational wealth is not only about money. So, our fund also is going to be set up to help pass down our cultural legacy as well as our economic legacy, our economic wealth, and our cultural wealth. So, a part of the EEMF will be first to how to make sure that people get financial literacy education very early in life and throughout life as their needs change. Also, when people are in their senior years or even before, that they are capturing and preserving and eventually able to distribute to their offspring and to the generations to come after the stories, the photos, the memories, the videos, all kinds of things that are part of our cultural legacy that is oftentimes lost, oftentimes ignored, and oftentimes never really captured and organized in a way that makes it easy to pass it along.
right. So where'd you get this great idea and how does it work?
Well, I got the idea when I was living in Baltimore, Maryland, and there was I believe, a US congressman from that area who talked about a dollar a month fund in Maryland. And I thought that would, what that was every African American family would invest a dollar per month into the fund, and that fund would then be used as resources for those people who contributed $1 a month. Now, I didn't get a lot of details about how that would work. All this many years later, I am learning a lot more about how that would work and how it's best set up. So the EEMF is actually going to be an endowment. And an endowment is a type of fund that when you put money into the endowment, that money stays there and it grows. It gets income from investments. And that income, a portion of it, is used to fund the programs for the endowment. Here is how the EEMF would operate. Um, According to the US Census in 2020, there are over 10 million African American, self identified African American households in the US. If we, as a people, each household contributed $1 a month, every month going into the fund, we would have $10 million. And over a year, we would have $120 million. And that $120 million would go straight into the endowment fund. And that money would never be touched. Oh. But, and then as the years continue, again, with that aspirational number of 10 million households, that 120 million continues to grow by 120 million every year. So you can imagine that over 5 years or so, that's a big endowment built upon $1 per month per household. So over 10 years, over 20 years, the fund would continue to grow. And so would the interest from the income of investing those funds. And it is from the interest, or at least a portion of the interest, that all of the resources that we're going to make available to the members who contribute $1 a month, it is from that income that these programs are funded. That initial $120 million and every $120 million that comes into the fund after that, again, stays there. It never gets touched. It just continues to generate more and more income as time passes. And so that income we're able to fund more and more services as time goes by.
That's that's an amazing concept. Just to imagine that money growing and growing and growing. So, what are the projects that they will fund?
Okay. So we have 5 projects that we've identified that we want to be able to fund as the endowment grows and as the income grows. But the very first one is, as I mentioned before, financial literacy for all of our members, for young people, for children, for young people, for what we are calling the working period from the 20s through to retirement, and for people in retirement. We have programs in all of those stages of life. But the first program is financial literacy education, and that is a mandatory resource. In order to continue in the fund, you have to take one of the free financial literacy courses that we will make available to you. And I emphasize that these literacy courses will not only be available in different modalities. Some might be in person, some might be by Zoom, some might be having access to books and other resources, podcasts, all of those different modalities for delivering financial literacy education will be available to all members who join at $1 a month for free. So you can say it's $12 a year, but you're going to get such a benefit because no matter what your income is, you can make better use of it. You can make it grow in a way that's very profitable and that leads to the eradication of the wealth gap by first understanding how money works and how you can make your money work for you. So now the idea behind this EEMF is that there are going to be some African American households that can afford more than $1 a month, right?
Yes.
But we're not asking them to pay any more than $1 a month. There are going to be some households for whom $1 a month might be a stretch, might be. And we're still asking people to pay $1 a month because we want them to be invested in this fund.
Mm.
But there might be other households that will say, okay, well, we will provide the $1 a month for this family for the first year until they've had that financial literacy course and they can better manage their money. And then $1 a month, that $12 a year investment is just part of your plan, is part of your investment plan. The other idea is that some families that are, already wealthy enough and um, already have financial planning, already have access to the resources to manage their assets, to leave a financial or economic generational wealth. They will not necessarily draw upon all of the resources we make available. So it's a way of our community coming together for the benefit of all, but drawing upon the resources evenly, but with some people not necessarily pulling as much out of the fund because they don't need it at the same rate that a family that is in the process of building wealth would
Well,
need.
that sounds exciting, but I still am not clear as far as my audience. What will I get from being a part of this other than learning how to spend money?
Or save money or invest money.
Yes.
So the first program is financial literacy education. The second program is trust funds for K through 12 um, school age children, establishing trust funds that will build over time. It will help them when they go, if they pursue higher education. We're going to have a fund. Once you graduate from college, we want to give you a bonus for graduating. There are a lot of scholarships out there. Obviously, not enough, but we want to pay you at the other end. Once you've shown that you have the determination and the perseverance to complete, and it might be a bachelor's or an associate's degree, it might be a technical program, but once you complete, we want to give you some money so you can pursue higher education so that you can buy that first car or start a business or get your first apartment, whatever you use that money for. You won't have to apply for it. You won't have to apply for a grant. As a member, once you make that achievement, you will be given that money, and as the fund grows, the amount of money we can give for that purpose grows as well.
Great.
The third program is what I said, that age group, that is the working age group, helping them with asset management, investment strategies, and financial planning, helping with the purchase and maintenance of homes, because home ownership is a good way to pass along generational wealth. Also, in that age group, we want to provide some kind of incentives for people who are in low wage occupations, but they're very important occupations such as, preschool or even elder care. Some kinds of incentive, maybe a bonus, home ownership bonus, or something to help them with their rent for a year. Any way to give them a peace of mind through financial stability. And then the last stage of the program is for legacy, is, as I said, passing along not only economic wealth, but also cultural wealth for our seniors, for the people who are retiring. First off, the earlier you start planning for retirement, the better. But for those of us like me who are already at that point and did not have these resources available, we're still going to be able to help you. We want to contribute to a better quality of living for seniors as they move into their retirement age, both within their home and if they have to be moved to an assisted living facility, better quality.
Beautiful. Now, this is still in the planning phase. correct?
It is. I am hoping to launch the fund Juneteenth, 2025. But let me say what I need at this point. I need a lot of professional expertise. I need a lawyer to help me set up the corporation, the LLC, the nonprofit. I need web designers and I need consultants of all types. And so these are the resources that I'm trying to gather. And if anyone out there is interested in being part of this, please get in touch with me. My email address is made museum 19. That's MADE museum, MUSEUM number 19 at gmail.com. I appreciate any information, help, support from any corner.
Thank you, sis. It was
Thanks, everyone.